Attention passionate Baltimore Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Baltimore RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, what we're seeing right now in the NFL landscape, especially within the AFC North, is truly fascinating. The Baltimore Ravens, a team that's been riding the roller coaster of ups and downs this season, are potentially on the verge of a significant shift in their defensive front, and it all revolves around a name that's been buzzing for a while now, Quinnen Williams. Yes, you heard it right. Rumors are swirling, and they point to a possible blockbuster trade that could reshape how the Ravens approach their playoff push. But before we get into all the details, let's set the stage a little bit. The Ravens, sitting currently at 1-5, have been battling injuries, especially on the defensive side. Their run defense, which used to be a real strength, has been leaky, ranking 24th in the league, allowing 138 yards per game after dealing with key injuries. The defense, which once was a nightmare for opponents, has struggled to maintain that level of dominance. But things might be about to change, and it's all linked to this potential deal involving Quinnen Williams. Now, for those of you who are not fully caught up, Quinnen Williams, the third overall pick in 2019, has been a standout player for the Jets, earning All-Pro honors from 2022 through 2024. Over his career so far, he's amassed an impressive 46 sacks, along with 122 quarterback hits. His PFF grade from 2024 stands at an outstanding 90. And even in 2025, he's been producing at a high level with 8 sacks and a 21% win rate. His EPA per pressure is 32, which is elite for interior defensive linemen, and he's also collected 5 forced fumbles this season. Williams is considered one of the top 6 defensive tackles in the league, and his strength interior is comparable to some of the best in the league, like Aaron Donald. This guy is a disruption, no doubt about it. He can collapse pockets, generate pressures, and create turnovers. He's been healthy all season, with no injuries reported in 2025, and his snaps have been consistent at around 90%. His PFF grade this year, 91. 4 against the Bills shows just how dominant he's been. The projection is that he could finish the season with over 10 sacks if he's in a rotation that keeps him fresh and impactful. That kind of production would elevate any defensive line, especially one that's looking to turn the tide in close games. So, why are the Jets considering trading Williams? Well, their situation is complicated. They're in cap trouble, with around $78 million in cap space, and their primary focus right now is rebuilding around their quarterback. They're also dealing with some injuries in their secondary, which has allowed nearly 238 passing yards per game. The Jets are looking to prioritize extensions for their offensive line and improve their run defense, which ranks 27th, allowing 144 yards per game. Head coach Robert Saleh has shown a strong focus on youth and development, and with Williams being only 26 years old and having odds of plus 15, 0 to win league MVP, it's clear they're not sold on the idea of extending him long-term at this moment. Meanwhile, the Ravens are quietly building something special on their defensive front, and adding Williams could be the missing piece. Baltimore's run defense has been a concern, but with the projected return of Justin Madubuike in November, they are looking to bolster their interior. Madubuike, who's been hampered by injuries this season, is a key piece to their plans. When healthy, he's been a force, and his return paired with Williams could create a dominant duo. The Ravens are ranked 24th in rushing defense, allowing 138 yards per game, but with Williams joining Madubuike and a solid front four, that number could drastically improve. And this is where it gets interesting. The Ravens' defense, which has been struggling to generate consistent pressure, could see a massive boost with Williams joining the fold. He's projected to increase interior pressure by around 19%, which, combined with Madubuike's return, would make life miserable for opposing quarterbacks. Their projected PFF grade as a duo is around 88. 2, and their combined ability to generate sacks and force turnovers could flip the script on their opponents. This isn't just about stopping the run. It's about creating chaos in the backfield, forcing errors, and setting up the offense with short fields. That's exactly what Baltimore needs right now, especially considering their offense, led by Lamar Jackson, has been somewhat inconsistent this season. A stronger, more disruptive defense could give Jackson and the offensive unit more opportunities to excel, especially in late-game scenarios where turnovers and pressure matter most. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture here. The Ravens, sitting at 1-5, are in a tough spot, no doubt. But if they manage to pull off this trade, it could be a game-changer. The odds for Baltimore making the playoffs have been long, around plus 12-0 at some points. But with this kind of addition, those odds could shift dramatically to plus 4-0 or even better. Quinnen Williams could serve as an X-factor, not just for the remainder of this season, but for the franchise's future. His ability to collapse pockets and generate pressure makes him similar to the impact players we saw in recent playoff runs, like Hargrave with the Eagles last year, who was instrumental in their Super Bowl run. That kind of disruptive force can elevate a defense from middle-of-the-pack to top tier almost overnight. And let's not forget the context of the AFC North. The division is always competitive, with teams like the Bengals, Browns, and Steelers fighting tooth and nail. But if the Ravens can bolster their interior line with Williams, they could become a nightmare for those divisional rivals, especially against mobile quarterbacks like Fields. Their defense, which struggled against the run earlier in the season, could turn into a formidable unit that's capable of shutting down the run and pressuring the quarterback at the same time. This would allow them to play more aggressive coverage, forcing turnovers and creating more opportunities for their offense. The Ravens are also looking at their schedule and upcoming matchups. If they can get Majabuik back healthy and pair him with Williams, they might be able to string together a late-season surge. The projections show that with the right adjustments, Baltimore could finish the season with a 7-10 record, which might not seem impressive at first glance. But in this league, a hot streak at the right time could propel them into the playoffs as a dark horse candidate. Their defense, with Williams anchoring the interior, could be a key part of that turnaround, especially against teams with strong offensive lines and mobile quarterbacks. Now, I want to touch briefly on the implications for the Jets. They're clearly in a rebuild mode, and parting ways with Williams might be a strategic move to free up cap space, around $25 million, so they can focus on extending their offensive line and improving other areas. It's a tough decision for them, but in the NFL, sometimes you have to sacrifice a star player to accelerate your rebuild. The Jets' front office, led by GM Joe Douglas, is known for making calculated moves, and this trade could be part of a bigger plan to reshape the roster around their young quarterback and the future of the franchise. But back to the Ravens, adding Quinnen Williams isn't just about one player, it's about sending a message. It signals that Baltimore is serious about contending again, about re-establishing their identity as a dominant defensive team. Williams' presence would give them a boost in the trenches that could make the difference between a team that's just hanging on and one that's poised to make a real playoff run. It's about creating a new identity, one where the Ravens are feared for their interior pass rush and run-stopping ability. That kind of transformation doesn't happen overnight, but if the trade goes through, it could be the catalyst for a historic turnaround. And let's not forget, this isn't just about this season. The potential long-term benefits are huge. Williams is only 26, and he's entering his prime. If Baltimore manages to lock him up long-term after this season, he could be a cornerstone of their defense for years to come. That kind of stability in the trenches is invaluable in the NFL, especially when trying to build a championship-winning team. So as fans, we're watching something that could be a game-changer. The Ravens are on the verge of making a bold move, and if it pans out, it could redefine their season, their division, and maybe even their future. The AFC North is always a tough battleground, but with Williams in the mix, Baltimore might just have the edge they need to climb back into the playoff picture and make a serious run toward that elusive Super Bowl. It's a story worth following, and we'll be here to bring you all the updates as this drama unfolds. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Baltimore Ravens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And finally, I want to hear from you, Ravens fans. What's your take on this potential move? Do you believe Quinnen Williams can be the piece that finally pushes Baltimore over the hump? How do you see this affecting not just their defense, but the entire team's trajectory moving forward? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion really matters to us and to the future of this franchise. I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and all the latest news surrounding the Baltimore Ravens. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep this conversation going. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Ravens.